You know, we usually think of great ideas as this perfect blend of creativity and logic, right? But it turns out there's a third ingredient, and it's absolutely crucial. It's action. So today, we're going to dig into why the most groundbreaking ideas don't just pop into our heads. They come to life when we actually get our hands dirty.
And here it is. This one simple but honestly powerful idea just flips the whole script on how we think about making progress. It's not about sitting around waiting for the perfect plan. It's about getting things moving now.
All right, let's get into it. First up, beyond execution. We're going to challenge that old school belief that action is just, the final step in some long, drawn-out process.
Okay, so let's break this down. On the one hand, you've got the common myth, execution. It's this rigid, straight line, right? The final domino that falls after all the real work, the thinking, is supposedly done. It's all about control and just delivering. But the reality, what we're calling action, especially when it comes to innovation, it's a whole different beast. It's this dynamic, back-and-forth dialogue. It's an ongoing experiment where the whole point isn't just to deliver, but to learn and adapt as you go.
Yeah, think about it this way. Real action isn't just shouting instructions at the world and expecting it to listen. It's a conversation. It's the moment where your brilliant idea on a whiteboard suddenly meets the messy, unpredictable friction of the real world. It's where your imagination finally has to face actual consequences. It's a living, breathing, interactive thing.
So if action is a dialogue, then how exactly do we learn to speak its language? Well, that brings us right to our next section, learning through action. Let's look at the theory behind this whole idea.
Okay, so there's a core concept from the world of education that totally nails this. It's called constructivist learning theory. Now, I know it sounds a little academic, but the idea behind it is incredibly simple. It's that we don't just passively absorb information like a sponge. We actively build our understanding by doing things, by messing around, by interacting with the world around us. Knowledge isn't just handed to us. We have to construct it ourselves.
And that leads to this powerful conclusion. That old model of learn first, then plan, then act later, it's just broken. The reality is, the acting is the learning. I mean, think about a designer who throws together a quick prototype, or a developer running a simple A/B test. Every single action is an experiment, and every outcome is new data. This is the real engine of innovation.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Well, our third section is all about that. It's called thinking with your hands.
So one of the most fascinating ways this philosophy is put into practice is with a methodology called Lego Serious Play. And yes, you heard that right. I'm talking about that Lego. It's this incredible facilitated process where teams literally use Lego bricks to build models of their ideas and challenges. It's all about transforming abstract, circular conversations into something tangible that everyone can see and understand together.
And the reason this works so well comes down to a concept called embodied cognition. Again, a bit of a mouthful, but the idea is simple. Our brains don't do their thinking in a vacuum, completely separate from our bodies. Our hands, our senses, our interactions with physical stuff, it's all part of how we think. So when you build something with your hands, you're not just making a model of an idea you already had. You are actively thinking through the problem as you build.
And the benefits of this kind of approach? They're huge. Suddenly, all that abstract strategic talk becomes something real and concrete. It totally unlocks creativity and taps into the group's collective intelligence. You start uncovering all these hidden assumptions you didn't even know you had. And maybe most importantly, it builds this incredible sense of self-efficacy, that deep down belief that what you do, your actions, actually matter.
Now, of course, shifting to this way of working isn't always a walk in the park. It can definitely meet some resistance. So in our fourth section, we've got to talk about breaking down the barriers. So what are these barriers? Well, ironically, it's often the very structures that are designed for control and efficiency. We're talking about rigid management hierarchies, a pervasive fear of failure, where making a mistake is punished instead of seen as a learning opportunity, and a big one, a lack of real, hands-on engagement from leadership. All these things can kill an experimental mindset before it even has a chance to start. So what's the solution? Well, it's not some new app or a 5-step process. It's way deeper than that. It's a fundamental shift in culture. It's about creating an environment of what's called psychological safety, a place where people actually feel safe enough to try new things and, yes, even fail. It's about really truly valuing experimentation more than you value rigid control. And that brings us to our final section, and honestly, it's the most important one, because this is where we take all these ideas off the screen and put them into your world. It's your turn to act.
You know, the philosopher Confucius absolutely nailed this centuries ago with this quote. I mean, think about it. You can hear what I'm saying and forget it. You can see these visuals and remember a few bits, but it's only when you do something, when you act, that you'll really truly understand.
So let's make this personal for a second. I want you to really think about this question. In your world, at your job, on your team, what structures or mindsets are making it easier to take meaningful action? And maybe more importantly, what's making it harder?
All right, and to help you get started, here's a little mini task for this week. It's super simple. First, just identify one small piece of a project you're working on. Second, prototype it. And that just means make the idea tangible somehow. A quick sketch, a little model, you could even just role-play a conversation. It doesn't have to be fancy. And third, reflect. Ask yourself, what did reality teach me that just sitting and planning never could have?
Because if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. In a world that is changing faster than ever, the real winners aren't going to be the ones who can deliver the fastest based on some outdated plan. No, they're going to be the ones who can learn the fastest through constant, meaningful action.